Devo Activeboard Inputs are powerful tools that allow users to easily substitute a part of a widget query with the content specified in the input. This maximizes interactivity by providing almost limitless possibilities of transforming your charts to see different datasets. In this video, we will take a look at the types of inputs available and how they can be used. First, we have the simple text input, a free text field to include whatever you need to use in the widget. Then, we have the select input, a drop-down to include a set of options that will be selected to use in the widget. Let's see all this in Devo. Once inside the Activeboards area, it is essential that you activate the edit mode, otherwise you will not be able to create inputs or modify the queries of the widgets. In this Activeboard, we have this donut chart with this query to show the number of connections per city, filtered by one specific method. Let's say we want to filter by each of the other methods without constantly altering the query. To do that, we create an input and modify the widget query to invoke the values we introduce in it. The valid syntax depends on the function inside the query. In this case, a specific value that matches the format of the column filtered, and always using the input internal ID and not the name assigned. Now we are ready to introduce different methods in the input and see the results on the chart. Instead of having to write the desired value, we can also use the select input to provide a given set of options. To create a drop-down with a fixed set of options, you need to include in its data source this kind of syntax with as many components as options needed. Remember to edit the widget query properly to invoke the value selected in the input. Now we can select in the input the different methods included as options and see the results on the chart. If you need a more interactive set of options, you can configure the input data source introducing a query, whose results will be the available options in the drop-down. Be aware that, as any other widget in the Activeboard, the query results depend on the time range specified on the Activeboard, unless you establish a custom date range for it. Now we can select in the input the different methods resulting from the query and see the results on the chart. There are several ways of further customizing your select inputs using the visual settings, and they are all covered in the dedicated video that you can find in the description below. For both types of inputs, it is possible to configure the widget data source so a specified value is shown by default before introducing one. Let's leave the Activeboards area and come back to check that it actually shows the value established as default. We have provided a list of the relevant articles relating to syntax, both to invoke input values and show default values. You can find them in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. Visit us online to keep up to date with the latest content.